TikToks that feel illegal to watch. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
If someone talks over you, they have no interest in listening to what you have to say. That's disrespectfable. They care more about what they have to say, which is why they're talking over you. And there's some really interesting research around this, because when it happens, you're kind of like, did they not hear me talking? And you kind of feel a little shut down. Well, here's what we're going to do instead. This comes from research from Harvard Business Review. And what you're going to do if somebody starts talking over you, you're in a meeting, you're talking, all of a sudden, John starts talking over you. First things first, keep talking. And a real power move is slow down. And the second thing that you're going to do, use their name. Mike, I'm going to finish my point. This is an important topic, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone's informed. And I'll be glad to get your feedback, Mike, after I've shared my perspective. But I'd like to make sure you actually hear my perspective first. Boom! You know what happens when you do that? Nobody knows what to say. You don't have to stop talking. You don't have to give in. Don't let your brothers and your sisters or some colleague talk over you. And then when you're done talking, here's the final thing you do. You know, Mike, I know you were trying to insert your ideas earlier. I would love to hear what you have to say now, Mike. Talk about just a confident and calm and emotionally mature response. Because I'm going to say it again. If somebody is chronically talking over you, whether it's your family or your friends or someone at work, they have actually no interest in listening to what you have to say. That's disrespectful. And if somebody doesn't respect what you have to say, stop giving them power. You need to respect what you have to say enough to keep on talking.
What about folks with ADHD who just get overly excited sometimes?
Y'all save all y'all money, all y'all lives to come here. Let me be the one to break your bubble. First of all, Paris stink. It smelled like piss, cheese, and armpit. Child, eating the damn pigeons was crazy. And ain't nothing to do but eat at cafes. You will see a cafe on every corner because there's no activities here and the food is so mid. That's why there's hella fast food, American fast food chains, because their food don't taste like shit. And that shit look grimy as...
Europe's overrated. If you really want an adventure, head to Asia.
The main reason why people say the generation is cooked because of these new parents, bro. These young kids nowadays have no guidance, and it's actually sad. And it's because these parents want to be friends with their kids and act like that's their homeboy and homegirl. Like, they don't get that belts and ass treatment no more because the system made that a crime.
Let him cook!
I feel like back in the day, kids had a certain amount of structure, you know? Because they knew if they did something bad, they was getting an ass whipping as soon as they came home. And it's a PSA to my mom. I was not talking about her. My mom is not a child beater.
My kids will have everything I never had. That's where the problem started. I took my fair share of whoopings as a kid. IT.
The angels watched with anger and sorrow as the Son of God was crucified. Michael, with his flaming sword, shouted, "How could we allow this? Let me destroy humanity right now." Gabriel, filled with indignation, cried out, "They are not worthy of forgiveness. Let the earth be judged by the justice of the Most High." The heavenly hosts, seraphim and cherubim, were ready to descend and consume everything with divine fury as Jesus carried the cross. Michael hesitated for a moment. With one strike, these men would vanish from existence. But from the eternal throne, only silence when Jesus cried out, "Father, why have you forsaken me?" The angels were on the verge of unleashing their full might. But then came his words, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." And they echoed like a beam of mercy through the heavens. Michael lowered his sword. Gabriel wept. Divine mercy had triumphed. And as Jesus gave up his spirit, redemption was sealed for all humanity.
Matthew 26:53. Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? That verse is absolutely terrifying, yet Jesus still chose to save us.
Sandeep, what opinion do you have about girls wearing makeup?
If they want to wear makeup, let them wear. What is the problem?
What if she washes her face and it's totally different girl?
I don't mind as long as she is a woman. I will take with makeup or without makeup. I have no makeup bias.
So you have low standards?
I have no standards at all. Low, high, nothing I have. Just give me a woman. What about you? Are you available?
Could you blame Sandeep? He must be finding it hard in the dating game.
I am seeing that Jim Carrey's sitting up front tonight in the movie section, even though he's nominated for a TV show.
Oh, yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm so sorry, Jim, but we're gonna have to ask you to vacate the movie section and go sit with the TV folk. You're kidding, right?
No.
Yeah, it's awkward because you're a hero, but we do have to ask you to move.
I just finished a film called Sonic the Hedgehog. Comes out in November.
Oh, well, you know, come back next year. I'm sure it'll be nominated.
All right, I'm going. Should I take my dinner too? I wouldn't want to leave any of my DNA in the film section.
Yeah. Jim, please don't make this any harder than it already is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't hear you. I see your lips moving, but there's a delay. Takes a long time for the sound to get this far.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. We appreciate it.
He knows what's going on. It's all just a joke.
The greatest skill you can develop is the ability to stay in a great mood in the absence of things to be in a great mood about. And if you can be in a bad mood for no reason, you might as well be in a good mood for no reason.
It's called the joy of the Lord. The Bible says the joy of the Lord is my strength.
I bet you haven't seen this video.
There's a picture in the museum in the Louvre. I don't know how many of you have ever been there. The picture is called Checkmate. The devil's sitting on this side. There's a chessboard, and there's a guy sitting on the other side. And the guy sitting on the other side has his hand on his head like this. And he's like in desperation. And as they were taking a tour through the Louvre, there had been a group of athletes, and particularly world champions, that were being given a special tour. And in the tour was the world chess champion. And he comes walking by the picture. And the guy's explaining to him, this is a picture of an artist rendering of somebody who lost a battle with the devil. And so the group moved on to the next picture to see something else. But the world chess champion, he stayed there. And he just kept looking at the picture. And soon they noticed that he was not with the group. And so the tour guide came back and said, we've moved on. Are you coming? He said, well, I've been looking at this picture. And the guy said, yeah. He said, it's called Checkmate. The devil's laughing, the man's lost. And he said, yeah. He said, I've been noticing that. He said, but while I've been standing here, I've kept looking at the picture. I got a problem. And he said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, you know, I'm a world champion chess player, and I spend my life playing chess. And normal people don't always see what a world champion chess player sees. He says, but when y'all walked off, I looked at the devil laughing, and I looked at the man in desperation. But he said, I noticed something on the chessboard. He said, either they're going to have to change the painting, or they're going to have to change the name. And the guy said, well, why are they going to have to do that? He said, well, you know, I'm a world champion chess player. And he said, when I observed the board, I found out the king still has one more move.
The king has one more move. You have to understand, some people just don't see it. But the world champion chess player, he saw it. Why did he see it? Because he seen that there was still a move left for the king. There was still a move left for the king. There's always another move in your life that God's willing to do to pull you out of the mess, to pull you out of the struggle. Why? Because he loves you and he cares for you. And for you to learn more about Jesus today, I want you to follow or subscribe, and I want you to share this with a friend.
Jesus will have the final move.
I left my wallet.
What?
I left my wallet at home, yeah.
This boyfriend tells his partner that he forgot his wallet at home to test her loyalty. You won't believe what happened next. Who is a red flag?
So either we gonna get back there and wash dishes, or you can pay for it real quick.
Me?
Yeah.
Pay for all this? You got 5 things.
It might be like $200. Nothing crazy.
$200?
Yeah.
I'm not paying that.
I got you.
You better call somebody to bring your wallet. I'm not paying that.
What are you talking about?
That's embarrassing. You want me to pay for your food?
I mean, it's our food one time.
But you pay for everything. This is so weird. I'm just a girl. But dang, I'm not going out with you no more. This is ridiculous.
How you gonna go out with me?
You gonna pay me when we get done?
Why you can't just handle this meal? Can you just pay for this meal? Please, babe, come on.
Sit right with me. I'm paying for all of this. Like, how is it a coincidence that you leave your wallet when you order 4 entrees, bro?
I thought I had my wallet on me.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So are you gonna get my money back when we get home?
What?
It shouldn't be on a woman to pay no man's
Okay,
bill.
but I left my wallet. That's one time.
Bring some money. And then the guy would love to buy my food, but now I have to buy the guy food.
Just one time, though.
Why
Didn't I
you
pay for your
say
food
that?
last night?
Yeah.
We went to a
You pay for my
steakhouse.
food every night.
Exactly. What's the issue then?
That I'm not used to this. This is new and I don't like
Okay,
it. I'll pay
get
for
up,
stuff.
get up. She's not done eating, yet she doesn't want to pay.
You think you know everything about 9/11? You don't. There was a 5th plane. We have the evidence. The government tried to bury it, but you can see it on YouTube. It's called TMZ Investigates 9/11, the 5th plane. Prepare to be shocked.
Forget about the 5th plane. There was a 3rd steel tower that was demolished too.
Here's why everyone is talking about what happened in Russia yesterday. You see, not only did Ukraine carry out the biggest attack that Russia has incurred since World War II, but what Ukraine damaged specifically is why everyone is going crazy. You see, you have 3 ways that you can launch nuclear weapons: ICBMs, submarines, and dropping them from planes. Yesterday, Ukraine claimed to have destroyed a staggering 34% of all of Russia's warplanes that can actually carry these nuclear weapons. And keep in mind just how important, at least symbolically, it is for the United States and Russia to have equal nuclear capabilities. I mean, kind of the whole reason for the Cold War, and the bizarre explanation as to why the US and Russia have about 5,000 nuclear warheads, while the country with the 3rd most in the entire world only has 500. So if Ukraine's Secret Service is telling the truth, even if Russia has the same or more nukes than the US, yesterday they just lost a significant ability to actually use them. And it's not just that, it's how they lost it. Because Ukraine used 117 aerial drones, which comparatively are such simple, cheap pieces of technology, yet they caused what Ukraine are claiming is $7 billion in damages. I mean, the biggest question that everyone's asking today is how will Russia respond? Which is why World War III is trending again on Twitter. It happens every couple of years.
If Russia is struggling against Ukraine, how can anyone believe they could defeat NATO?
You are looking at the actual hand of God. If anybody needed encouragement today, this is going to be it. So this story comes from Amanda Foster. She posted this absolutely incredible picture of her ultrasound to her social media account, and of course it has been blowing up. She said, "Each time before ultrasounds, I've dropped to my knees right in the doctor's office to pray over Kyler. In my prayers for him, I've asked the Lord repeatedly to please keep his hand on my baby and whatever his plan may be to help me trust fully in it at ease. At an ultrasound yesterday, my youngest daughter Bailey was the first to notice it and asked me whose hand that was, then Kyle, but in one of his pictures, it had the appearance of a hand holding his head." This is such a beautiful reminder, y'all, that we are his children. We are precious to God. He loves us more than we could ever imagine. Psalm 139 says, "You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it well." This life gets heavy, but no matter what you are dealing with right now, no matter what you are carrying, God can handle it. God is bigger than whatever issue you are facing right now. He is our Father, and we are his children. So whatever you are worrying about today, whatever you are carrying, whatever you are struggling with, run to him with it. Lay it at his feet because he loves you and his arms are wide open.
The pressure from the hand is visibly wrinkling the baby's skin.
After winning the race, he walked over to the 14-year-old girl in the mascot costume. She offered him a gift, he slapped it away, and he assaulted her. He never explained why, and he never apologized. But it wasn't the first time Mahadine Makissi Benabad had done something like this. Only 2 years earlier at the same event, he pushed over a different mascot after winning. And a year after that, when the other French athlete on the track, Mehdi Bala, had apparently tried to console Mahadine after he'd finished 11th in the race, that somehow escalated into an all-out physical brawl. It was a shame, really. Mahadine was the fastest steeplechase runner France had. He even set the European record in the 3,000-metre steeplechase in 2013, a year after he assaulted the 14-year-old girl. But his arrogant, abrasive attitude and everything he'd done outside of his races had made a lot of people hate him. So, in 2014, by the time Mahadine lined up at the European Championships in Zurich, there were many watching who had hoped that he would fail. But as the race went on, Mahadine once again dominated the course. And as he came around the final straight in first place, he tore his shirt off, put it in his mouth, and encouraged the crowd to cheer for him. Many in the crowd who knew everything he'd done before watched on in disgust as he crossed the line in first place once again. The mascots ran for cover, and Mahadine looked back at the other runners, laughing to himself. But later that day, there were reports of Mahadine crying after the race. Why? Well, there's a rule in athletics which he had obviously forgotten.
Well, he's got to be careful. That's a disqualification offence. That's a stupid thing to do.
Indeed, it was a stupid thing to do. Mahadine was disqualified, and the gold medal he'd worked so hard for went to his French teammate.
How was he still allowed to compete, even after repeatedly showing he was a threat to others?
This is tragic. A 19-year-old student has just sadly passed away after unbuckling her own harness mid-air and falling to her death. You see, Tijana was parasailing while on vacation in Montenegro when something went terribly wrong. She had reportedly agreed to a free parasailing ride in exchange for a video to boost business with tourists for the summer holiday season. And before she took off, her friend said that she was happy and calm and waving at them, which made what happened next so unexpected. Moments after lifting off, witnesses on the beach reportedly heard her suddenly start screaming, put me down, and help me." Then video shows that in a moment of terror, she does the unthinkable. She starts unbuckling her own seatbelt and harness while 150 feet above the sea. I won't show what happens next. Now, we don't know exactly why she did this, because her family said that Tijana was not suicidal. The parasailing company said that Tijana might have thought that something was going wrong with the equipment and started to have a panic attack. Others started talking about the call of the void phenomenon. The owner said, "I guess she didn't do it consciously, but in a moment of uncontrollable fear."
Maybe she didn't understand that a 150-foot drop into water can be deadly. The height probably overwhelmed her, and she thought diving in was an option.
Why do we have ingredients in our food that is illegal in a bunch of European countries? Because they found out that these things are dangerous.
I agree. Go to McDonald's in like the UK. The French fries has 3 ingredients. Right. Potatoes, salt, and I think maybe oil.
Yeah.
And look at what's in America's side. It's much different.
I have a buddy of mine who lives in Australia. He loves quarter pounders in Australia because he said quarter pounders in Australia, it's grass-fed meat that's just fried with cheese and a bun. And he said he got a quarter pounder over here. He's like, what the is this?
In a free, unregulated market, companies can easily take advantage, selling low-quality stuff at high prices. That's the downside of capitalism, in my opinion.
Shorter guys make up for it by becoming the richest people in the world.
Yes.
DiCaprio in person, I'm like, wait a sec. Oh, he ain't 6'1". Justin Bieber, he's not tall. He's at best 5'9". Conor McGregor. Bill Gates specifically said in his family, everyone was tall and he was 5'9". He was completely bullied, but he made a $2.7 trillion company.
Wait, 5'9" is short now? Are we doing height inflation or what? I'm 5'7". Just saying.
So the way people treat you is a reflection of how they see you. But the way you let people treat you is a reflection of how you see yourself. If you let people walk all over you, it's not about them, it's about you. Your boundaries show the world how much you value yourself. If you don't demand respect, you'll get whatever treatment they decide to give you. The truth is, no one's opinion about you matters more than your opinion about you. When you see your own worth, the worth that God places on you, you'll stop tolerating anything else. Raise your standards and the world will adjust.
Set higher standards and watch how everything around you shifts.
People have gotten really attractive.
I don't know if you've noticed this.
Yeah, they have.
My goodness, people are so pretty. Like, I'm on Instagram and I'm like, how does everyone look so good? People had like normal looks. Now people are extremely attractive. And so I think that the bar has gone up so that we're all like numb to how beautiful people are, how funny people are, how kind people are, because we've been on 1,000 dates. The funniest, best thing they ever did is on their Instagram and we saw it. So anything else is like, seen it. Like nothing is impressive anymore. If you don't have any dopamine from your phone, you have to go get dopamine and oxytocin from in-person relationships. So if you have a blackout where you cannot go on any social media or have any kind of interactions on your phone, and you have to go out in person, you actually do. Like I remember when I used to travel for work and I'd get to a city and there was nothing to do. There was no phone in my hotel. I did not have an iPad. You could read a book or you could try to go out. And that's what I would do. I would like get to a city and I'd be like, well, I have nothing to do in the hotel room. There's literally nothing to do. I had my book, or I could go to the hotel bar, I could go walk around the city. And I met more people in that time of my life than I do now, even though I'm connected to more people than ever.
Everyone looks better online, at least until you meet them face to face.
Oh my God. Buckle up, because there's a lot to take in here and it's rough. As many of you know, Cassie's ex-boyfriend is currently locked up in Brooklyn awaiting trial on multiple charges, including trafficking, racketeering, and more. His freak-offs have been greatly talked about, and what celebrities may have partaken as well. Thus far, no other star has been publicly named. Until now. In the wake of Diddy's arrest, this attorney in Texas, Tony Busby, held multiple press conferences and was looking for alleged victims of Kim Porter's baby daddy. He has begun to file many lawsuits against Diddy and said that he would be filing upwards of 120 individual lawsuits against Diddy. Tony Busby also revealed that he was reaching out to celebrities that were somehow involved in Diddy's freak-offs and threatening them with legal action. Pay up to get us to shut up or we will sue you publicly. That was Tony Busby's MO, and Jay-Z is one of the celebrities that Tony Busby reached out to. But Beyonce's husband did not respond well. We've now learned that it was Jay-Z who last month sued Tony Busby. But Jay-Z filed his lawsuit as a John Doe. He filed it anonymously in Los Angeles County Superior Court against Tony Busby, accusing the Texas lawyer of extortion and intentional infliction of emotional distress. In that filing, Jay-Z claimed that Tony Busby sent him a demand letter threatening to name him in a lawsuit with allegations that would tarnish his reputation, that he supposedly raped a child at a Diddy freak-off. Last month, in his lawsuit, Jay-Z said through his attorney that Busby's letter included entirely fabricated and malicious allegations of sexual assault, including multiple incidents of rape of a minor, both male and female. And Jay-Z's lawsuit made it clear that Tony Busby threatened to name him if he refuses to comply with the demands, aka a huge payout. Jay-Z is adamant that he is innocent and that Busby is fraudulently extorting him and others.
Jay-Z shouldn't be in emotional distress if he's truly innocent, right?
Do you know, Stephen, who is by far the most dangerous individual that a woman will ever meet in her life? Whether it's the Yanomamo tribe in the Amazon, whether it's the Hadza tribe in Central Africa, whether it's in ancient Greece 2,000 years ago, or whether it's in Detroit, Michigan 2,000 years from now. Who is the most dangerous person by far that you will ever meet?
Let me think about this. Who's the most dangerous person she will ever meet?
By orders of magnitude more than anybody else. And the minute that I'll say it, you'll go, oh, no kidding. But the fact that you don't exactly demonstrates my point. And that's why evolution is so important.
I think the most dangerous person she will ever meet is another...
You're already off.
Okay, I don't know.
Her husband.
I was going to say...
There you go.
I was very close because my brain went her future husband.
Right.
Because I was thinking in the courtship process, that's quite dangerous.
So whether it be her long-term partner or prospective long-term partner, right?
Okay.
So to your point, a husband is the most dangerous. And then the overwhelming number one reason that might drive him to domestic violence all the way to homicide is suspected or realized infidelity. Okay?
I'm a true crime addict, and the stat is always in these true crime shows that I think it's 70% of the time when a woman goes missing or is murdered, it's the husband.
Exactly.
Something crazy like that.
Exactly.
So.
Now, sometimes in those shows, it's because I want to get rid of my current wife so I can run off with another one.
Yeah.
But notwithstanding that potential effect, usually when I go into a homicidal rage, it's because I am concerned that either you have cheated on me or you actually, I have proof that you have cheated on me.
Yeah.
So then the question becomes, why have human males evolved the cognitive, emotional, and behavioral repertoire to respond in this way? Again, you're not justifying it. You're not saying, oh, if I give you the scientific explanation, that means it's okay to beat women. But the reason is because we are a biparental species. Human dads are extraordinary dads in the mammalian context. We're by far one of the most vested dads. Now, we don't invest as much as human females, but we are really super dads. So therefore, your ancestors and mine, Stephen, male ancestors, don't come from a line where they said, hey, don't worry, ladies, have at it with the sexy gardener as much as you'd like, because I'd be happy to then spend the next 18 years raising Geno's kids. And therefore, we've evolved that system to try to thwart a fundamental danger to our genetic interest, which is paternity uncertainty. There is no such thing as maternity uncertainty, right? Mm-hmm. So when I read that book, with such complicated phenomena that are explained so elegantly, so parsimoniously, so simply, so that you go, yeah, that makes perfect sense. That was my eureka moment. And so evolutionary behavioral science is exactly what I just described the last 5-10 minutes, which is taking the evolutionary biological and evolutionary psychological lens to study human phenomena.
Let's not say might drive him to temperament. That shifts the blame onto the wife. What drives him is his own inability to manage his emotions.
Why do people today appear so much younger than they used to? The two men pictured here in this photo from the 70s are only 17 years old. This gentleman is 45. He was 21, and these two were 23 and 44. Why did people back then look so much older than people of the same age today? In this film, the two characters are meant to be 45 years old. And in the first season of The Sopranos, Tony is the same age that I am now. So what could be causing this shift in how old people appear? Is it increased sun protection?
It's not going to be sun protection. Sun protection ain't making you look 47 at 17.
Decrease in cigarette or alcohol consumption?
There you go. Cigarettes, I would bet a lot on that. Everybody used to smoke, man. Nothing age you more than cigarettes.
You have to keep people on their heels. They can't know everything about you. And what I said is, disappear for a couple weeks. Make people talk about you. Make people wonder, why is she not posting as much? Why are we not seeing what she's wearing in the morning and having for breakfast and all these other things? I said, Beyonce did that. She disappeared for like a couple of years, and then she comes out with like a country western album that nobody expected. Michael Jackson did that. He would disappear between albums for 3 or 4 years, and it just made people go crazy and talk about him and wonder who he was. That was before the era of social media, I grant, but you have to disappear sometimes so people don't take you for granted. If they know everything about you, it's human nature that you become too familiar and they're not interested in you anymore at a certain point. So you have to create mystery.
Law 16. Create value through absence. Respect and honor will follow.
Instead of trying to get rich, try to not be poor. This is what poor people do. Start many projects, finish none. They think that understanding the basics and doing the basics are the same thing. They assume friends will act like friends when it comes to money. They make promises, then break them, especially to themselves. They assume anyone making money is smarter than them or somehow got a head start that they didn't have. They're easily distracted. They prioritize looking smart over acting smart. And they think that asking for help means that they are helpless. They expect things to be easy. They trust people they know blindly. They blame anything besides themselves for their problems. They look for one thing to solve all of their problems. They believe their own bullshit. And to top it all off, they get married to someone who spends more money than they make.
Oh my gosh, this attack is definitely way too personal.
This is why it's important to be careful on how you talk to yourself and what you do. Karma plays a big role, and the elements of life. Watch this video until the end, comment below, and share this video with someone you love, care, and respect. Did you know this? Dr. Emoto, let him cook.
1994, Japanese scientist Dr. Masaru Emoto proved something extraordinary. Your words physically change the world around you. Dr. Emoto had students speak negative words like, "I hate you," and "you're a failure," to one set of water bottles. Another set was treated with kind, loving words like, "I love you," and "thank you." After freezing the water and viewing it under a microscope, the results were astonishing. The water exposed to negativity formed chaotic, distorted patterns. Meanwhile, the water blessed with positivity crystallized into breathtaking, harmonious shapes. Here's the mind-blowing part. Over 70% of your body is water. That means every word you speak creates a ripple effect in your cells, shaping your energy, health, and even your reality. Speak love, speak gratitude, speak power into your life. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
The Bible says that the power of life and death is in the tongue. Aren't they all Epstein-related pizza-eating vampires?
These people don't understand how you survived all of the spiritual attacks. Because they tried to do a number on you. They really tried everything in their power to make you lose your mind. To make you want to unalive yourself. To make you homeless and be out in the street begging for change. They really tried to isolate you. And they don't understand how you survived everything because they had some quote-unquote professional help. They had practitioners doing spell work on you. And they don't understand because, you had several groups. Each group knew they were a group and they knew you were alone. Or so that's what they thought. They forgot the Most High. They forgot you were loyal to God. They forgot how often you prayed to God. They forgot how you moved with morals. They didn't see the things you did in the dark, in private. You did things that other people make videos about and boast about. And you never told a soul. There were several groups attacking you simultaneously many times. Each group didn't like you for whatever reason. And it all stems from jealousy. That's really what it goes down to. What it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. It's like they just don't know how not only did you survive the attacks, but how everything is going back to them. And now you don't even have to do a return to sender. feel free to do so if you want to. But you don't even have to do a return to sender, because the angels and the ancestors and spirit are backing you up. Their ancestors have deserted them and have joined forces with your ancestors, because they know you're the truth. You're the light. You walk with dignity. You try to help people with nothing in return for you. You genuinely go out there spreading your light and wanting to see other people happy. Because you know if other people are happy, that's not going to take anything away from you. In fact, it's going to beautify your environment. You love to go out in public and see people radiating with joy. That actually brightens your day. That's what these people don't understand. They want to see you miserable because you somehow find joy despite all that you've gone through in life. And they haven't gone through not even 1/100th of what you went through. And they just can't be happy. They can't seem to be happy. You could be in a 1970 Toyota Corolla, if they ever made one in 1970, and you're happy. And they see you, you're confident. You're driving that Corolla as if it's a Bugatti. Where if they drove a Bugatti, they would feel like they were driving a 1970 Corolla. Because they have an ungrateful heart. They have tried to scam God by going around preaching that they believe in God, but in private they do wicked things like spiritually attacking you and others. God instilled in you this deep peace, this patience, this love. You love for the sake of love. You feel love at the bottom of your heart. And it happens randomly. And you almost want to cry. You're blessed. They're not. Anyway, I just want to let you know that I post different content on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Clapper, and Twitter. My username on all of these platforms except Twitter is TheChrisJosh, which is my username here on TikTok. On Twitter, I'm RealChrisJosh. So follow me if you haven't been doing so already, and enjoy the content. Take care and have a good one.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. If you know, you know.
The night the Lord sent 4 archangels to punish a legion of fallen angels. The fallen angels, known as the Watchers, had produced the giant Nephilim and taught forbidden knowledge that brought chaos to the earth. Corruption had reached such a level that God decided to reset humanity. At that moment, the sinful angels felt an overwhelming presence. As they looked to the heavens, they saw 4 powerful archangels descending. Raphael was tasked with imprisoning Azazel, the leader of the rebels, in deep darkness. Gabriel had the mission to destroy the Nephilim with the flood, eliminating the corruption from the earth. Uriel, the guardian of wisdom, was sent to warn Noah about what was coming. The rebellious angels knew that divine justice was about to be fulfilled, but something even more overwhelming was approaching a being that made them tremble with fear. It was the supreme archangel, Michael, the leader of the heavenly hosts. Michael faced them with a gaze that radiated the tremendous power of God and proclaimed, "Who is like God?" The rebellious angels found themselves paralyzed by his aura. Michael imprisoned the fallen angels in the eternal abyss and sealed the entire source of corruption.
Solomon concludes at the end of the Testament of Solomon. He interviews some very high-ranking demons, and they say there's one who will come who all demons are convinced by, meaning where we have to obey. We have to do what he says. And he says, what's his name? And the demon says, in Hebrew, it's 644. And in the Greek, it's Emmanuel, which is Jesus, which is God with us. And Solomon doesn't really know what it means, right? But he's like, described this being to me. And they said, he is the lamb. He's the one who will be slain. He's the one who has to suffer at the hands of the Jews. And it basically describes the Messiah, the coming Messiah. And I think Solomon picks up on it because of Isaiah, which he might have had at the time. And I think he realized, okay, they're talking about the Messiah, but I don't know his name. And so Solomon went through this big rigmarole trying to figure out how to control the demons because the name wasn't accessible to him yet.
I'd like to know, where exactly is this mentioned in the Bible? Please drop a comment.
Don't go anywhere because we still have fire clips after fire clips back to back.
Have you ever imagined what heaven saw when Jesus was crucified? 72,000 angels have raised their swords. They are ready to rescue him.
How did we allow this? Let me destroy them all!
They don't deserve forgiveness. Let the earth be consumed by justice.
The armies of heaven, seraphim, cherubim, stand ready to descend, one command away from ending it all. As Jesus carries the cross.
One strike, and these mortals will cease to exist!
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Heaven trembles. Judgment tightens. Then,
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
The swords are lowered. Tears fall to the earth. Heaven weeps. Because love chose the cross. And with his final breath, redemption broke through death. If you are grateful for his sacrifice, type AMEN and proclaim, "Thank you, Jesus."
There was no reason for the angels to rescue Jesus because he willingly gave himself up. He knew exactly what he was stepping into.
Like, you know the Sultan of Brunei's deal?
What is it?
Oh my God. He had his own nightclub. He has like 500 Ferraris. Like these guys have insane amounts of money because it's not public.
Yeah.
And so what he would do is he would pay actresses, he would find these girls, and he would get these gals and give them exorbitant amounts of money to come. And then it was only him. And he would go down there and it's filled with gorgeous women. And he would go down there and just go, you, come with me. And then they'd go fucking party. And they were making a lot of money. And one of them was writing a book. And so she had a laptop, and she was like documenting all. They confiscated her laptop, and then she went back to America. Then she spilled the beans, and she ratted out all the other girls that were doing it. It kind of fucked up the whole thing. Because like A-list people were getting shit tons of money to go over there and party. In 2001, Jeffrey was forced to auction off his personal possessions after using the country as a piggy bank, spending an average of $747,000 a day for 10 years. When he turned 50, the Sultan built a stadium, invited Michael Jackson to perform in it, and paid him $17 million for 3 concerts. Here and abroad, the brothers are infamous for their sex parties and their harems composed mainly of underage girls.
If you want to be happy, don't ever hold any anger or resentment towards anyone else. Because if you look at life through this lens, it'll change your perspective. Everyone gives you a gift in some sort of way. The good people in your life will give you happiness. The worst people in your life will give you lessons. And then the best people in your life will just give you really great memories.
I 100% agree. Anger and hatred toward others take up too much mental space and energy.
When I was 7 years old, my dad would make me order for the entire table at a restaurant. Hey, you're the man of the table now. When the waiter comes to the table, you're going to ask them their name, and then you're going to say their name in a sentence. And I was like, Dad, this is stupid. I'm not doing this. And he was like, do it. So I'll never forget. The guy come to the table. I said, what's your name? He said, John. John, me and my sister would like 2 Shirley Temples, please. And my dad will have this, and my mom will have this. And so he would make me do that everywhere we go. Every like decent restaurant, nice restaurant. And at first I was like, oh, this is so stupid. But I remember 3-4 months after he started making me do it, we're at this place, the Cliff House in Maine. And I have the server's name, and my Shirley Temples are empty. And I say, excuse me, Matt. comes right over. I said, me and my sister would like 2 Shirley Temples, please. And I look over, and there's a guy sitting right there with his wife. He's about 50 years old, and he's flailing. Sir, excuse me. Not getting the attention of the waiter. And he had the same waiter as we did. And Matt already brought my Shirley Temples back to the table before that dumb fuck ever got the attention of the waiter. Why? Because everybody's a fucking sir. You have zero control of any situation if you do not have the name of the person.
A lot of people will overlook the true meaning of this amazing story.
Poor people stay poor because they're afraid of other poor people judging them for doing the things it takes to get rich. As sad as this is, a lot of the people around you when you're starting out want you to lose because it helps them justify the risks that they were unwilling to take. And so by you making the risk and having the chance of being successful, it reminds them of the things they haven't done.
Pay attention to this video.
What they did not teach us in school and what I wish they would have taught me. I don't care who you are or where you're from, we all live the same life, and it goes like this. You wake up to your world about age 16. About age 16, you say to yourself, oh, I need to get a job one day. So I'm gonna have to work real hard at a skill to make money. But you know what? I wanna make a lot of money. So I'm gonna work and work and work to become an expert at a skill. And then one day out of the blue, I get a relationship going. Now I gotta keep the job going because she needs a lot of money. But now not only do I have to be an expert at my job, all of a sudden I have to be an expert at relationships. This is hard. She wants me to be masculine yet sensitive. Then we bought a house. Now I have to be a plumber. I have to be an electrician. I have to be a landscape artist. I have to be an expert at taxes. Now we have children. Now I'm a doc. Oh shoot, I just lost one of the kids. Hold on, we got another. Now I'm a doctor, I'm a mentor, I'm a theologian. And all of a sudden I hear from my wife, honey, I don't get enough attention. There is no time!
And somehow they make time for a side chick.
Did you hear about that lady that got fired from Equinox in Manhattan? She was late 47 times in 10 months, and she sued because of race. She said she got fired for racism, and she won.
She
Because
won?
It's a jury, and she won $11 million.
No.
Yes, she did.
No. And she was late 47 times?
Not only that, like, you were working at Equinox. Like, you could work for all of time, and you'll never make $11 million. Like, you're not going to make $11 million working at Equinox.
No.
But yet you won, and she only worked there for 10 months. She was late 47 times in 10 months.
And that's why they were firing her? Like, they're like, you're just
They're like,
perpetually
bitch, you are
late.
always late.
Yeah.
And then she's like, that's so racist.
That's crazy.
She won. And she took him to court and won.
She brought receipts to support her case. Other employees are late more often with no consequences. She also pointed out that she was never given a write-up or put through any formal process.
The end of the world is the destruction of Earth, of our humanity.
Yeah, everything was there, and now there's nothing. But this won't happen anytime soon.
But how soon is soon? A year, 5, 10? Will we live to see the end of the world at all?
No, we won't live to see it.
So we won't live to see it. You mentioned once that it would be many, many, many centuries. Will it still pass? But eventually there will be an end of the world?
Will be.
And for what purpose? Who? Are people to blame for this?
You're probably also curious if, when the end of the world comes, people will be saved from it, or if they will all disappear.
Of course.
Jesus Christ is coming back.
They treated me like I was nothing. They treated me like I was a slut from the moment I got there, which wasn't true. And it's no way to treat a woman anyway. It was like they wanted to turn me into what they wanted me to be so that they could justify abusing me. So they just because I lived in a bedsit on my own, they would just harass me at my doorstep. They would I don't know, they would send men to my address as well. So men that I didn't know were always knocking on my door asking me for sex. Sometimes I could get rid of them and sometimes I couldn't. The abuse was, it was almost daily. It was kind of every other day, multiple men a day.
Have you considered how many men sexually assaulted you over that period of time?
So when I lived in Telford, there was 24, and then they passed me on to another gang in Birmingham, and it went on to roughly about 70, 73 when I was in Birmingham.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Why is she left without anyone to protect her?
Taylor Swift almost ruined her career in front of 123 million people because she was with the most hated woman in America. Nobody can forget what went down during last year's Super Bowl, especially that one moment. Right in the middle of the championship game, Taylor Swift shows up on screen. She's in the stands with Ice Spice, and out of nowhere, she starts throwing up demonic hand gestures while wearing an upside-down cross. It's weird because the second the camera hits her, she does the signs and flashes the cross. Honestly, you don't even have to believe in conspiracies to notice it. Everyone around her is just drinking, having fun, watching the game, and she pulls that. It looks painfully forced. And for the people saying it's not an upside-down cross, Playboy Carti literally posted it in his story. And in every close-up pic and video, you can clearly see she's wearing it. Then, after the Chiefs won, former President Joe Biden posted this on Instagram with the caption, "Just like we drew it up." What exactly did he mean by that? Kanye West was also at the game that day, dressed head to toe in black, wearing a black mask, and had Jesus Christ placed between his eyes, like he was trying to send some kind of message through the game. Everything you see, everything broadcasted on TV, is there for a reason. They're gonna keep feeding us this imagery and try to make it look normal. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm never going to...
All of them worship the devil, but God is bringing their evil to light.
When I watched this video, it gave me the chills. You see all these workers? Now let's break down life from a different perspective. After you watch this video, you let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section. Before you leave your opinion, watch the entire video. Share this with someone you love, can, respect.
You were born in a cold prison. It is your country, your state. Number 2, you have to pay for the prison stay. They call the prison fee taxes. Number 3, you have no say what will be done with the money, but you have to pay. Number 4, to pay the money, you have to work. The prison encourages you to buy new shiny products, so you feel better about your poor existence. Number 5, you are not allowed to exit the prison far enough to see the prison wall. Number 7, the prison gives you news and entertainment so that you don't discover the prison walls. Number 8, the prison does not allow strong family bonds or strong brotherhood unless you are a part of the group that is running the prison. Number 9, the prison you live in wants you weak, sick, and divided, because weak prisoners can't climb the walls. And most important, number 10, the prison is mostly run by other prisoners. It will collapse if enough prisoners will wake up.
There's a program working against us, so we need to stand together and break it. Respect.
You did a 40-day fast, and that blew up on TikTok. What did you learn from that experience?
People think food is energy. If food is your only source of energy, I'm not saying food is not a source of energy. It's not the source. The source is spiritual. When you fast, you tap into not a source, you tap into the source. You tap into spirit. You tap into energy. You tap into mind. You tap into the real you, the spiritual you, the inside you. Because don't eat for 3 days, your belly will talk to you. Don't eat for 7 days, your belly will really start talking to you. When you don't eat for 10, you don't even think about it.
Are you talking about fasting for 40 days with no food, just water? Can anyone actually do that? Leave a comment.
The term Africa is not the name of the original continent. It's called Alkebulan. It means, it's a Coptic word meaning the Garden of Eden. So Alkebulan was changed by a 5-star Roman general by the name of Leo Scipio Africanus, who during the Second Punic War in 202 BC defeated Hannibal in Carthage, which is present-day Libya and Tanzania, and changed the name of the continent from Alkebulan, which is actually a Coptic term meaning the Garden of Eden, to Africanus, which is Africa today. And later on in history, century, there was a second man by the name of Leo or Louis Africanus, whose real name was Ibn Muhammad Hassan, who was born in Granada, Spain in 1494, whose family was amongst the first slave traders who occupied all of Western, not just Western Spain, but all of what we call Africa today. They were slave traders. So anytime a Roman Empire family or even an Arabic Empire family would conquer a land, many times they would change the name of that land from its original name, like Alkebulan.
I've been told that much of what we now call Africa was once referred to as Ethiopia and Kush.
So you're telling me these reels that people scroll got people reeled in, and TikTok is taking people's time? And then I was like, wait a minute, algorithms got people hypnotized, and rhythm also happens to be the oldest form of inducing a trance. This is shamanism. Rhythmic breathing while drumming puts you in a trance. But there's no etymological ties between algorithm and rhythm. An algorithm is a set of sequences that dictate behavior. But wait a minute, rhythm is a set of sequences that influence behavior. So what's really going on? Are these things being channeled from somewhere, a different level of reality, almost like spirits? Are spirits just symbols? Is Jesus just a symbol? Is Buddha just a symbol? Or is that just half the truth? Well, tell a vision, you stare into a black mirror and it tells you a vision. Your phone is a black mirror, and black mirrors are used by witches to scry and channel spirits. What's really going on? Spelling, casting spells, grammar, grimoire? Is this half the truth or just coincidence? What's happening?
They manipulate our frequency by controlling what we frequently see.
There's a lady that I worked with who was from a very rich banking family. And when she was a child, she was taken into a Masonic lodge. And a little boy that she was playing with had his head cut off in front of her.
What?
And then they buried her in like a tomb, like a coffin type thing with snakes and spiders for 2 days.
It's no coincidence that wealthy people come from affluent families, a pattern that has lasted for generations.
Let me show you how to make a natural toothpaste that will whiten your teeth like crazy. This stuff is amazing, guys. Here we go. 5 simple ingredients: coconut oil, bentonite clay, food grade hydrogen peroxide, which I'm going to dilute to 3%, baking soda, peppermint essential oil. Super easy. Let me show you. 3 heaping tablespoons of coconut oil. Coconut oil has antimicrobial properties. 2 big tablespoons of baking soda, a gentle abrasive. 2 big tablespoons of bentonite clay. Bentonite clay has a negative charge, so it pulls out metals, potentially other toxins from your mouth and gums. And I'm going to mix that up, but not with a metal spoon. The concern here is that if you mix this up with the metal spoon, the bentonite clay might pull trace metals out of the metal spoon. So I'm going to mix it with a wood spoon, and then I'm going to add the peroxide. The peroxide is the whitening agent. You want to make sure that you dilute any concentrated forms of hydrogen peroxide to around 3%. And then I'll add the peppermint drops just for that minty taste. Looks like poo. That stuff is incredible. And in case you're wondering what this is, it's a natural mouthwash. Video on this coming soon. Send this video to somebody you know who's using garbage fluoride-filled toothpaste and needs to make a natural one that is way better.
I know it's shocking, guys. I know. Just Google it. There's a rat temple in India. The moment you walk in, it's got wall-to-wall rats everywhere. They go in to pray, and the foods that are prepared to sold out are all eaten by rats. In the Hindu religion, rats are sacred. Indians believe that, rats, a bit like cows, maybe cows a bit more superior for them, which is why they have cow dung, as well as they drink cow pee first thing in the morning, as well as I've posted videos where they say that in their own religious books, it says that drinking your own pee from the first pee for the morning is good for yourselves. There's many videos I've posted. I mean, this is a cultural thing in India, guys, that, even Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, was actually recorded as somebody who used to popularly drink his own first pee in the morning. And they claim it's miraculous turnaround for them and stuff like that. So they believe eating poo drinking pee. I'm not making this up, guys. It's all there on Google, as well as this particular rat temple, as well as there's a snake temple where they eat with snakes and do things with snakes. Aghoris, who are supposed to be religious Hindus, they actually eat human bodies, because when an Indian dies, they either burn them, or if they're pregnant or children, they put them into the river Ganges, not just polluting the river, but actually down the tide somewhere, these religious men catch the bodies and they eat human bodies. This kind of stuff goes on. I'm surprised that you guys have no idea, and you come out with the words like AI, or maybe it's Indians trying to call it AI just to cover up. But it's all there, guys. I'm just surprised that all your life you haven't known these facts. Why are you so surprised when I'm telling you about India? These are all facts. Now only people to cover up are calling it AI. Just Google it, guys. Google it, okay? It's been there for 40, 50, 80 years, or probably even 100 years. You know, this has been carrying on for thousands of years. This is the way, this is what Hinduism is, yeah? Whilst one side of it says we don't eat meat, the other is they're religious holy men eating humans. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not criticizing, but I'm just saying this is what I don't understand, that a religion which talks about not eating meat, their own religious people catch bodies and they eat meat, babies, animals, absolutely animal goes, sorry. I'm finding it very disturbing to even make this video.
I have watched quite a few documentaries about the Rat Temple and the Aghoris. It's honestly disgusting.
This is exactly how you manipulate perception without fixing your broken business.
So there's this company in the Midwest, and everybody's complaining the lifts or the elevators are too slow. So they go to Otis, the elevator company, who say that for a few $1 million, we can replace the cabling, replace the winding gear, put in new motors and lift cars, and we can speed up your elevator. And just before they're about to spend $2 million, someone says, don't bother, they said. Before you do that, just try putting floor-to-ceiling mirrors between the lift doors, on the walls, on every floor. And he said, what the hell are you talking about? He said, what they're saying is the lifts are too slow. What they really mean is, I get bored waiting for the lift. So they put floor-to-ceiling mirrors between the doors, and whereas before the same people who'd been jabbing impatiently at the button and getting furious, once they had mirrors, the time was occupied in grooming or mild voyeurism. All the complaints stopped, okay? So this is what I mean by an innovation. Actually, psychological insight is just as valuable as technological advance.
Another example is sports, used as a way to keep us busy and prevent us from focusing on what really matters.
I saw you tweet, kids as young as 9 are addicted to porn. Girls as young as 13 are using fake IDs to post explicit content on OnlyFans. A third of those selling nudes on Twitter are under the age of 18.
Yeah.
Can you unpack that, please?
Everyone just accepts now that parents are overprotective. So there's like the helicopter parenting and the coddling of Gen Z.
Yeah.
But I think like parents are weirdly, they're not protective enough, but they're also coddling. So they're like, coddle their children, but not put up proper boundaries or guardrails. There's like no rules, but they're over-involved.
Overbearing in all the wrong areas and totally absent in all of the wrong ones as well.
Jonathan Haidt talks about it when he says kids are overprotective in the real world and underprotected online. Think of dads now. I think dads are less protective than they've ever been because they can't care about what their daughter wears or where she goes or who she dates because that would be backward. You know, it's her right to do that. I think what has accidentally happened is feminism pushed this idea of like girls and boys are just as strong as each other. And then that led to people thinking, oh, so girls don't need extra protection, which killed chivalry, but also killed fathers actually protecting girls. Because the problem is not like women are weak, it's that girls are vulnerable. But now we think, oh, we should all step back, let girls do what they want. You see,
a lot of chivalry went out with patriarchy.
Yeah. Well, we killed good authority we just killed all authority. And so now you have young women like demanding that their universities protect them and demanding that the government step in, and like staring at someone becomes harassment on the tube.
Feel to be good, or you believe that it is good, the universe will project it into your life. It will become better. So if you feel good, the universe will make you feel better. But if you feel bad, the universe will project it, because remember, image and a reflection, this bad will get even worse. And this is how the universe works, to simply put it.